I wanted to talk about delegating, Kevin. So many people get this wrong.
I know what I did right and what I did wrong. And I had that attitude like, this person will know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. I didn't even really understand, I have to actually not just train this person, I have to you don't need to know every trade inside and out, but you need to know the order. You need to know what they don't want to go home and think about all this shit.
Right.
So make it, this is probably hitting home for a lot of people because that's what
I've done it.
I've done it too.
America's backbone was built on blue-collar business grit, grind, and muscle. This is where you stop working for the business, and the business starts working for you.
Blue Collar Millionaires, glad you came on another podcast. I'm here with Kevin. We're in Scottsdale, Arizona, doing a few podcasts today. Got a nice dinner waiting for us this afternoon. And I wanted to talk about delegating, Kevin. What's your thoughts around the subject? So many people get this wrong.
I know what I did right and what I did wrong in the beginning. What I did wrong in the beginning was I was doing behind the scenes stuff and I just kind of hired people, gave them essentially no direction.
Mm-hmm.
I did in the field because I was there.
Yeah, right.
So they did well. But behind the scenes, or when I wasn't around, I didn't even really understand, I have to actually not just train this person, I have to help this person be their best version.
Yeah.
And listen to them and get them what they need. And I had that attitude like, this person will know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, I took the different attitude. I said, why is it working in the field? It's because I'm out there, because I'm listening to them, because I'm helping them, and because I'm teaching them things, and they can see, wow, he does it better than I do. Let me do his way.
Right.
So I started applying that to this. I hired more qualified people. You have to get people who have that skill set. Mm-hmm. And then I just said, I think of this all the time. I had it written on my desk for years on a little sticky note that says, make other people the best version of themselves. That's really what you want to do.
Yeah.
What do you need? So we were just talking about something.
Yeah.
If people need tools, if they need, get in front of them, that's your job.
Right.
To give it to them. They can't do their best work. If they need to talk to you about something, if they need processes, if they need to know what their status is, that's what your job is as an entrepreneur.
Last week's podcast was about building the machine of business, and I think too many times we think we're going to hire this unicorn and we're going to be able to find this very skilled and capable person, and we're going to be able to plug them in and say, go sell. And then we give them zero guidelines, systems, activities, accountability, goals to reach, known as KPIs. We give them nothing.
Yeah.
And then we come back frustrated months later down the road when we realize things aren't happening the way we thought they were going to happen. And then we blame it on that person and we say that person just wasn't the person they said they were. Yeah. And I have thought in the past, I was like, well, how do you hire someone and plug them in without having to know everything? Because as entrepreneurs, especially on startups, you know it all. You have to learn a little bit of the bookkeeping, a little bit of the marketing, a little bit of the sales. Typically, we know a whole lot about the operational process. And I was like, you hire skill. Well, yes, if you don't know something, let's talk about the accounting. I don't know the accounting, bookkeeping side in depth. So I'm going to hire somebody that has the QuickBooks expertise on that particular system. But then I'm going to explain to them what I'm looking to see. Yeah. What I want to see. And I'm going to work with them very often in the beginning so that I can make sure that they're producing what I need to see so that I can do my job well. And then they understand what I'm looking for so they feel like they're doing a good job when they realize they're getting me what I need. That is how you would work with someone that has a skill set that you don't have. You don't hand the crown off and say, hey, take over the bookkeeping, the accounting side, and make sure we're okay. I'm going to stay over here and handle operations. This is how you end up with bounced checks. This is how you end up with no money sitting in the accounts payable that's way past due, accounts receivable that's 60 and 90 days out. And now those people even forgot you did the work and they try to claim that they don't owe you on the invoice. That's what happens when you hand the crown over. And this is what we do so many times, so often wrong, is we hand a crown over and we say run with it because we think we hired the bookkeeper that's got 20 years of experience. and we gave them 0 systems to follow, 0 goals to meet, and we left them with no accountability. And they don't even know that they're doing bad.
This is probably hitting home for a lot of people because that's what
I've done it.
I've done it too. You just say, because first you're just hiring people and not giving them, and then you're saying, well, I'm hiring people who's supposed to know how to do all this.
Exactly. They
They know bookkeeping. They don't know what you want to do. They don't know your systems, and you got to check on them. And people want ownership and autonomy. They want to be able to do their own thing. A lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's who you want to hire.
Absolutely.
And if those people they want the backing of the entrepreneur. They want the backing of systems and to feel good. They don't want to go home and think about all the shit we do.
Right.
So make it easy for them to be their best version. And then the other people who don't want that, don't want to step up, don't want to sign off on things, they're not going to help you anyway. Maybe they're going to be a day laborer or something like that, like a helper to someone. There's things like that are needed too. But you have to create those things. And then once you get it going, you're like, wow, they're really doing good. There's a tendency to say, I did this for a lot of years. They're doing great, so let me go over here. Mm-hmm. I don't even need to check on them. You still have to. I used to keep it on my calendar, and I'll reach out to, certain people on my team. I'll reach out and say, hey, I appreciate everything you do. What can I do to make your life easier? They just want to be heard too.
Right.
But when you feel somebody and they're energetic about their job and you're giving them that support and giving them the systems, they'll flourish. That's how you build a machine. That's how you make a lot of money.
We recently started a new division in our company, a new service. Kind of new. We had done it a handful of times, but we really professionalized what we were offering. And so I brought a new technician came in that had done it before inside of a different industry. They just happened to offer that same service. And so he went through and was kind of starting to lead. But if I would have left him alone to just lead it by himself, then I would have been getting that version of the service, not my company's version and our quality stamp on it. And he was doing a fantastic job, but I had to get in there and start communicating with him on what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing it that way? Okay, I like this. I want to tweak this. What do you feel? And I'm asking him. I'm wanting his opinion. And I see that he's being validated with me asking his opinion on things, and then me explaining why we're not going with something if we choose not to go the direction maybe he was saying we should go. So that communication back and forth 100% gives them buy-in. It makes them buy in, and it lets them know that you appreciate their opinion. And that everybody wants, most of us think it's money. People come into our organization or leave our organization because of money. Money is a large part of it, but I think most of it is, do they feel appreciated?
I think if you look at 10 employees, 90% of them want that.
Yeah.
Lots of them want money also, but there's no employee that's like, yeah, don't tell me I'm good at stuff.
Yeah.
I hate when you do that.
I need it. I like it. I like to know. That's probably why I enjoy giving free content away on the internet, because I enjoy getting the feedback like, man, that really resonated. That helped me. This helped me get past the mental block today, those type things. It's needed. So, to delegate, they need a system. They need to know what they're trying to achieve, and then they need the accountability. I like the end of day reports. It's a great daily activity accountability for themselves.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even you sitting there saying, hey, tell me about this end of day report. Do it in a group setting. I just did. I got that from you, and I plugged that in, and we've been doing that for over a year now, and I love it. And you're not going to put a crappy end of day report out when you've got your other peers that are looking at your activities. And because if you've got a culture where people are performing, an underperformer is going to stick out like a sore thumb. So they have to sit there and do some things just in the simple fact that they've got to have a report to be able to show at the end of the day.
They feel good about it.
It lets them know what they achieved.
Highlight the winner.
Absolutely.
If you're all doing the same thing. But you got to be able to do that. You got to take a step back and just do that practice. It's how do I make this person a better version? I talk about it in gutters, but if you have 10 people, 5 people, doesn't matter, 100 people, and if you get everybody to be 5% more productive, 5% better, multiply that by 10 people, it's 50%. You just built another half of an employee. But the truth is 5% is easy.
Yeah.
Get them to get 15 or 20% better. then you can basically pull yourself totally out of the field. That's how I used to do. I used to think when I had so many gutters, I'd go up, I'd be on buildings, right? And I'd be doing them and managing guys and everything. And I'd say, if I do that today, what am I going to do? I'm going to do like 15 buildings.
Right.
But if I can get everybody to do 2 more buildings because
Right.
I'm making it easier, because whatever I'm doing,
Yeah.
the systems are better. I'm thinking this all through. So I was thinking about that all at night in preparation for the next season. And that's what I did. And that's how we got there.
It's really hard for an entrepreneur that's in that technician mindset to turn it off the production mode. But the reality is your biggest lever of production as the business owner is to sit there and observe what your team's doing and where help is needed and more efficiency can be given.
I agree with that. And then one other thing on, you don't need to know every piece of your business, but you got to be open to learning on each part, and you have to be competent at every different things. I see so many of the guys in our thing, like they just want to hand marketing off to someone.
Right.
That's why I put that thing up, who's been kind of scammed in marketing, and it was like hundreds of comments.
Yeah.
Like you have to understand marketing on some level, so it makes sense when you're talking
Right.
to them. What are you doing? And if you're paying someone, that's a great time to learn.
Yeah.
I was just talking to you about that dinner, that guy.
Yep.
It always seems like these guys that I know that had massive exits, huge success, they shut up. They're always listening. They're always extracting info. And a lot of other guys, they want to just, I don't want to do that. I don't do that. It's like if you're building a house, you don't need to know every trade inside and out, but you need to know the order. You need to know what you're talking about, or they're going to take advantage of you. You can't build a house and say, yeah, I don't do anything with foundation. I don't know any of that.
Right.
I just show up when we're about to start, framing. It doesn't.
You can't be the
You can't
contractor.
do that. You don't have to be in there doing it. You have to know all pieces, and then, but you can be okay with, hey, I don't today, but over the next year, I'm going to start learning. I always do that. When I talk to accountants when I was young, you just want to get them out the door so they don't tell you to write a check. Now look how different. Like
Oh yeah, absolutely.
we're
You use them as
asking,
consultants.
yeah, you're learning. It's like you learn everything on them. That's what you should do for marketing. That's what you should do for people in your company who know more thing about one thing. You let them know this is your division, but you're asking more questions, and they like it too. People love to be experts on stuff. Get all the information.
It's the best money spent. Like we'll sit there and pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to a 4-year college and learn a bunch of stuff from people that's never actually done it themselves in a highly successful way. But then we won't pay an attorney to explain to us why they wrote our contract this particular way, or an accountant of why they're doing this. And that, so you've got consultants, you've got coaches, and that's probably what I'd group it into. Consultants are those people that you're going to ask why and how. Coaches, in my opinion, are there to hold you accountable. They're the ones that are constantly asking you, hey, let's do this. You said you was going to do this. Where you at? Get up out of bed. I think of, a workout coach. Many people hire coaches not because they don't know how to lift the barbell and do a curl. It's because they need to know someone's waiting on them at the gym at 5:30 in the morning, expecting them to show up to lift that barbell and curl it.
Absolutely.
And there's so many resources, no excuse of why we shouldn't be having success except for ourselves. And delegating is one of the things that we mess up so often. And we got to stop handing the crown off and just expecting people to run with it.
Get competent, get involved, help them delegate, and then take a step back, but be there for them. You can still free up all your time. All right, guys, we're at bluecollarmillionaire.net. If you go on there, we're doing an incredible dinner with some really good people today down in Scottsdale, Arizona. We got Boardroom Elite. That's a virtual group. Chris and I teach tactical strategy, stuff that works, not just theory. If you want to get in that group, go to bluecollarmillionaire.net and you'll see all the info.